Hey social fans, thank you for coming back to my channel. This is my part 2 video of transitioning out of homelessness. Today I'm going to talk to you about what I did for as money wise when I was sleeping in my car, living in my car for the 2 months that I was living in there. Uber was one of the major things that I did throughout the winter time, between the winter, spring, but the summer got kind of tricky because all the teachers and the 10-month employee was out, so things kind of got like slow. So I had to find something else to do. Uber within the daytime. So I would do Uber between 7 a.m. in the morning to about maybe 6 at night. And Uber, the reason why I did Uber, because Uber pays you every day. It may not be good like it used to be, but it was money that I was able to keep in my pocket and keep gas in my car. The other thing that I did to keep money flowing in was Walmart Spark. Walmart Spark is one of my favorites. It really did allow me to make money. It's like when, especially in the summertime, like I said, when the 10-month employees come out, Uber slowed down for me. Not that, and not only that, but the students usually go home. So if anyone knows that I stay in Raleigh, so we are a college area, and most people that needs Uber is college people or those that are educators. So when the educators are on their break or when the kids are out for school, yeah, Uber slows down. So I pick up Spark. Walmart Spark is one of mine. My other one was Roadie. I love me some Roadie. Roadie was good. I also did the medical carrying job. One of my biggest one was Carrionet, and that's out of, at that time was out of Cary, North Carolina. Carrionet. They had me going everywhere in North Carolina, and sometimes I was even going to Virginia at night. And I would do GoPuff. GoPuff is another one that I would do. They kept me going, and I made pretty decent money, but a lot of it went to gas. And when I had to leave from my ex-boyfriend's house, I usually had to take money from that pot to pay for the car that I was driving, because remember, I was leasing the car for about $300 a week, right? But that's including the insurance in it also. So altogether with the insurance on that car, I think I was doing maybe $1,200 a month for that car, which would, to me, wasn't that bad or whatever for an almost brand new car. So I was leasing that car for about $300 a week, and with the insurance, and I was doing Uber, and he didn't care where I go, and I had unlimited miles, so he didn't care where I was going with the car or anything like that. He did start acting funny after a while when I started going out for my rounds to Virginia, and my company would also send me to ATL. If I go to ATL, that's $1,000. So like I said, I was making the money, but I was riding a lot. And that's how I was able to survive when it came to little things that I needed to pay off, whatever, to get myself together, to get myself ready for a new apartment. Mind you, when I went to stay with my ex-boyfriend, it was not meant to be for a long period of time. It was only supposed to be for about a month. But then something popped up on my credit out of nowhere. Don't know where it came from. And I had to do some hustling to see if that would come off. But by the time I would start hustling for that situation, that's when our relationship started to fall down. So that would kind of left me, when I left to go to his house, I had no debt on my credit that would stop me from getting in a place. Next thing I want to talk about is the places that I would sleep at. Now, my medical carrier job was mostly at night. I would go from Virginia to ATL. They would send me from Virginia to ATL. Anytime, any day. Anytime I would have a job, send me from the RDU to the hospital or the emergency room. I'm taking something like blood, things like medicine, different things. Sometimes I would go to the resident house, but that's very rare that I do go to a resident house. Most of the time, like I said, I would go to the hospital. So I would just crash out, you know, and sleep at wherever I'm at. If it's at their hospital, I'm gonna sleep there. And sometimes they will even send me to the mountains. If they send me to the mountains, because it's worth the money, it was worth it. So by that day, I'm like, dang, I don't know, maybe about $400 a day. I already made $500 a day. But keep in mind, that's me working all day, the Uber and the medical, you know. So I would be gone. Even when I was staying with him, I would be gone for like 2 days at a time because they had me out there like that. And I was happy about that. When I was with him, staying with him, and didn't have to concern myself with sleeping in my car or anything like that, I could actually go home and take a rest. I was able to save much more money because I didn't have to worry about any of the household expenses because he was taking care of everything. All right, so the next place I would pull into a hotel that is very lit up and seems to be quiet neighborhood or, you know, area. I wouldn't do one that's off by itself and it's just that hotel, because typically if it's a small town, that means everybody kind of comes there. So I would try to scope out the area. You kind of gotta have discernment of, you know, if there's a hood or what area you're in. So I would do the hotel. Outside the hotel, I would also, like I said, do the emergency room. And then sometimes I would go to, depending on where I'm at, if I'm in Charlotte, I would definitely go to the space that they use for Uber, and I'll just put my Uber sign up and I would sleep in the Uber parking lot. You know, I've done that several times. So, and sometimes there's a spot in Greensboro also just for Uber drivers or whatever, just to sit out there. And you're supposed to be able to sit out there all night because you could get rides at any time. So they're not gonna mess with you. They may come by and check your window to see if you have, you know, your Uber requirements on your window. But other than that, they're not gonna mess with you. So that's what I did for that's how I survived out there for 2 months. I had, you know, I've made little friends here and there, but I'm very much like, don't mess with me type person because I don't want drama. I don't like drama. Okay. As I was saying that, I would make pretty decent money out there, but keep in mind what takes away from your money. How can I say it? I was good at making the money, but I wasn't good all the time of managing it, because when you're sleeping in your car, you pretty much getting like food on the go or whatever. Sometimes I'll go into like a grocery store and buy food, but it's still expensive, and you know, whatever you buy, you better go ahead and eat it within the, you know, that day or two, because if not, it's gonna go bad. What else? So most of my money that was taken up, it was from gas and food. I would have enough money to actually get in a hotel, and sometimes I was able to, you know, have a real decent hotel, and then sometimes it'll be the rinky dinks. So it determines where I stayed at is where my job was, the job that they sent me to, and also how much it was. Sometimes I was able to get free nights because I did my points. I was able to actually build up enough points to get a free night. Some hotels, they have that security deposit. You have to put down anywhere between $25 up to $200. I'm more like a $25, $50 girl. If you do more than 50, I'm not gonna do it most of the time, depending on the area. I'm more about safety also. So if I feel like this hotel It's not safe. I'm not putting that much money down. Especially being a woman, you really got to be very on it. Okay, so the next process I would like to talk about is when I was sleeping in my car. After I finally got a job, like I told you on my next video, if you haven't seen my first video, please go watch it. So my process was when I actually got the job, the work from home position, and one of my friends allowed me to come into this office to work. Now I had income coming in. I could kind of slow down a little bit, right? Keep in mind, I was sleeping in the car that I was doing Uber in. So therefore, I couldn't have none of my stuff in there. So I had to get a storage. So what I would do is I would go get myself together. I used the bathroom, and where I usually sleep at when I got the job, it was a 24-hour store near me. So I would go in there and, use the bathroom. So if I had to use the bathroom, I'll use the bathroom there. And then I'll get myself together. I'll go to the storage, get my clothes out for the day, and then go to the job earlier so I could take my shower, take my bath, whatever I have to do for that day, and then get ready for work. And then after that, after work, I'll go start doing Ubering. I would Uber for about 5-6 hours. It was worth the money. And that what kept me going. And I did that for a while. And I said, I had enough. This is when I started, actually had enough money to, when I got my job, I actually had enough money to start doing hotels, but I didn't do it right away because I was like, man, I need to start stacking up a little money. Guess what? Like I said in the other video, something came, I had a family emergency and I had to help out. And I didn't mind. I definitely don't mind. I would say that was a sacrifice for me. But for me now, I learned my lesson. I would say next time, hopefully it won't be a next time. I would say I would be like, I can't do it because I'm not in a situation that I could help anyone. My heart melts for people that needs help. And I'm like, Terica, you need help too. But yeah, I do. But I feel like I made what I had going on work for me. And I made that work for me, and I got comfortable with it. In the car, and keep in mind, when I went, like, if I would sleep in the Uber parking lot, there's other people out there. So I'm not the only one. And some of the people I actually knew, I got to know. So we was looking out for each other or whatever. There was other people out there, same situation, sleeping in their car, making money to make things happen. So it's becoming very rapid in the area that people sleep in their car or whatever. And I did it for like 2 months. And it's crazy because after I help my family member get their stuff together, I was like, now it's my turn. It's March. My money is like things started, I don't know, disappearing. Money started disappearing. When I mean disappearing, meaning like emergency bills needed to be paid. So I'm like, dang, I gotta wait again, to get my apartment. So, and then, it just kept going. And it's been over a year. And then, I'm fine now because I'm able to be with friends and family. But I'm not sleeping in the car no more. But I wanted to emphasize that sometimes if you gonna learn from my situation. Okay, so like I was saying, if you're gonna learn from my situation, I will point out that don't put anyone else before yourself. You go on with your goals and stuff, and to achieve what you have before reaching out. That's what I would have probably did, because I feel like I was like maybe 3 weeks away from my goal, and then when I couldn't make it. And then after that, let me tell you about this situation. Mind you, like I said, I was it's gonna make me cry. Mind you, I was leasing the car. Now it is almost 10 months. I think I leased that car for like 10 months. And I know for a fact that I probably already paid the car from the car. And then the dude started acting funny about the car, and he was like, hey, is it possible for you to, get your own insurance, or I'm gonna have to go up on the car? And I'm like, okay, how much? And I don't know how much it was, but it was ridiculous. And I'm like, what? He's like, what I can do, I could let you get your own insurance. And I'm like, well, I'm at a situation now, I can't pay the insurance and you at the same time and still pay you what I was paying when I was giving you both or whatever. So he threatened me. He was like, if you can't do that, then I'm gonna have to take the car. So one day I was at just the situations that I remember going through. One day I was at the laundromat washing my clothes for the week or whatever, trying to get myself ready for the following week to go to work. He called me. He was like, hey, you gonna be able to get that insurance on it because it's expiring or whatever. And I was like, I can't do it. I don't get paid till about 2 days from now, And then he's like, well, I'm gonna have to come take the car. I said, well, I think he thought he started bluffing. I think he was bluffing at first because he thought I was gonna be like, oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead and, have the car. I'll go ahead and put insurance on the car. I did agree to put the insurance on the car because I really liked the car, and I actually was gonna ask him to allow me to buy the car from him because, mind you, the car won't but like $18,000, and I'm already in 10 months, so I pretty much already paid for the car. So I don't know what happened on his end, but he started to get really bad, nasty with me, and that's a trigger for me. I'm doing business with you, and I'm giving you my hard-earned money, and you starting to be nasty to me. That's a no in my book. That's a no. So I told him. He's like, well, I'll give you a couple of days. And then I was at the laundromat. I guess that day was the day. And I was like, well, you're going to have to come. You're going to have to do what you're going to do, because for me, I can't do both. And I don't get paid till about 2 days. And this is when maybe a month in after having my job or whatever, working from home. So I was at the laundromat, and here come his friend or whatever. He came and got the car. So I'm like, I had to take all my stuff that I had, because mind you, it was on the weekend. I think it was on a Sunday or something. It was on the weekend, and I had all my stuff in there to wash clothes and stuff, so I can, for the week, and then take it back to the storage or whatever I didn't need. I'm here with no car, so I ain't had nobody to call, and y'all, it was crazy. And I'm like, I get paid in 2 days. 2 days, and I didn't have no money, really, because I'm like, whatever I had enough to do my laundry, because I always have money on my card, to do your laundry. And then like, I was like, once I finish, I'll go do Uber, and then I have some money to last me until I get paid, because I don't really like going zero, And all right, so as I was saying, that I was in the laundromat doing my laundry, and his friend came and he took the car, and I'm here stranded. I don't have, I have all my stuff, and I have nowhere to go. I have no money, or whatever. So what happened is, I did have some hotel points, and I'm like, okay, I got hotel points. I have enough to pay for a night or two. So, but this is the kicker. I was in Raleigh, and when it comes to the hotel points, There's different tiers, and the hotels that I was looking at, they have to have, it's like 7,000 points to order to get a free night. So, and it was all the way in, I think Smithfield, Selma, somewhere in that area. That was the closest one. So, and I didn't have no money to do Uber. So, and so it was, like I said, it was over, I don't know what day it was. It was over the weekend. And I'm like, I need to straighten this out before Monday get here, because I need to log back in. Whew. And this is when I had my contract job. So, and usually, mind you, I usually go to the office to log in and use their internet. And I couldn't do it because I didn't have no car. I didn't have nowhere to, I didn't have nowhere, you know, I didn't have any transportation to get downtown, or I didn't, you know, at the time I didn't even have a place to go to stay, because the car was everything to me. And I cried. I had to sleep out on the bench. I had to sleep out on the bench that night. And I slept out on the bench that night, and they had to close up earlier for some maintenance or something, and that's how I ended up outside, because any other time I would have been able to stay in there. But no, they kicked me out around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, we got to do some maintenance, but it usually is a 24-hour laundromat. So outside there was a bench, and I just stayed out there the whole night. First time ever, you know, going through something so terrible than it was. I stayed out there, and I'm like, Lord, you know, just protect me. Don't let nothing happen to me, because I'm in the middle of the city, and I'm, you know, I don't ever really go anywhere on the back, like the Bay Area, but I'm in the middle of the city. Anything can happen. I'm a woman. But what happened is something like, I think it was early in the morning when it got light. I ended up dozing off somehow, some way, peacefully. Nothing happened. They came back in. I was able to go back in, I think around 6 or 7, maybe 7, 8. Able to take my stuff out, you know. And I was able to use their bathroom or whatever to, you know, freshen myself up or whatever. Keep in mind, I already had a hotel in mind, so I could do a hotel. I could go to the hotel, and I have 2 nights free stay. And sorry y'all, it's just kind of touchy to me, because I never went through anything like that before. And for the guy, and I didn't blame him, but for the guy to be so uncaring or whatever, the fact that I've been your customer for that long, and it was time that he said that people didn't ever pay him, they just left him hanging. I never did that. I made sure he had his money, but that's the way he treated me. But anyway, so I slept out on the bench that night, and like I said, around early in the morning, it was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. They let me back in, and then something said, check your bank account. I checked my bank account, and I got paid earlier, and I was able to get an Uber to Smithfield, and I stayed over there for the 2 nights. So that's what happened. As I look back, I'm like, was that the last time I actually sleep in the car? Because I think it is, because I started talking to God about it. I said, God, I'm more grateful that I'm not sleeping outside, because I experienced that one time. I don't want to experience that never again. But the fact that I had a car to sleep in, I was grateful for that. And then for someone just to come and take that away from me without, like actually being compassionate about my situation. I'm like, I sleep in that car. He didn't care. Because I'm like, if he could have waited just a day or 2, I would have got the insurance. But he didn't want to, He He could have said, well, Terica, what I need you to do is park the car and just don't drive it until you get the insurance on it. He didn't say any of that. Was able to get an Uber. And you talk about somebody then thank Jesus up in there. I went in, I couldn't get into the room until like 3 o'clock. So when I finally got it, or whatever, I think it was like around 12. And he got there maybe about 45 minutes later, which I was fine because, you know, they got that wait and save and wait. And that's what I did. I just wanted to let y'all know the stuff that I've been through. I'm 24 and I'm hoping for a better 25. Once I got to the hotel, I didn't have a car. So now I'm like, I can't even go downtown, you know, get back to Raleigh or whatever. So a lot of things I had to use Uber. And I think I stayed in that hotel for about 3 weeks. I stayed in that hotel about 3 weeks. And once that happened, I had tried to do the Uber rental. That was worse. They had me paying like $400 or $500 a week. And I'm like, nah, bro, nah. I can't do that. You know, even though I had the money for as job-wise, the job, but it wasn't worth it. So now not only I'm homeless, but I'm without a car. And I have to figure out how to keep money going to actually keep money going so I can actually have somewhere to stay. Because I would spend anything between $45 to I think $130 a night in a hotel. The weekend is what really gets you. Well, got me anyway, because if I wasn't in a contract, meaning you could stay for $500 a week or whatever, I wasn't really down with that, because what if I go in a hotel and I don't like it, or I don't feel safe? That means I have to break my contract to go somewhere else and I don't get that money back. So I never did that. I never did that. So I always paid by the day. Oh, another thing I want to tell you guys. This is very important. If you're staying in a hotel, make sure you find corporate codes. The corporate codes have saved me so much money. I have a business myself, registered business myself. So I was able to get corporate codes under my business. So I could actually get discounts. So the situation is, if I know I'm going to stay somewhere for 2 weeks, I could call my representative and say, hey, I'm going to stay in Charlotte for about 2 weeks. You think you can negotiate the pricing for me? Because I'll be there for about 2 weeks. And that's how it goes. And sometimes they will do, I've had 10%, I have had 15%. I think the highest maybe 20% that I ever had off on a hotel. So that right there was a game changer for me. Not only the points, but just having that corporate code. And sometimes you can even go online and they have corporate codes for people, for different companies. And you do you know, you use whatever you need to get what you need. And that's how I was able to do it. And not only that, staying in the hotel, you could also buy points. So just to say, if I'm $6,000 points, I could buy 1,000 points for $12. That's not bad at all. And then I could get the night for free. So, you know, sometimes you just got to work with what you got. And what I had at that time was nothing. But the gift that I got is that I could have nothing and I could make nothing out of something, if that makes sense to you. So, and the way that I was able to get back into a car, I got on Hype Car. That's what I wanted to tell y'all. I got on Hype Car. Hype Car was allowing me to do the lease with them through them, but with another person. And then after that, not long ago, I did that for a while. not long ago, I was in a car accident. So that eliminated that certain car. So that's what I wanted to say, that you guys, if you need money and you need to make money or whatever, do Hype Car. Rent a car from Hype Car and do your own. You could do Uber on it. They don't care. Some of them, it's just like leasing a regular car. The miles might, deter you a little bit, but make sure you get one that could be unlimited miles, or one that can suffice what you need to happen throughout the week or what a month that you're doing it. And they do, most of the time, they're very generous with those that do monthly rentals. So that's another tool, actually. Because I was a dislocated worker, I was able to go to school for free. I can't tell all that right now, but I will be able to tell soon. That I'll be able to tell you that. But I was able to go to school. It didn't work out the way I wanted to, but that's not the end of that story. Food, I ain't gonna lie, I eat Taco Bell every day. It's either Taco Bell or Sheetz. I don't eat meat, so yeah, I don't eat meat. I would do liquid protein. Taco Bell had the best option, or Chipotle. I would go somewhere like Chipotle or whatever. I get a veggie for fajita or something like that. Probably where most of my money went to is food. Only thing is, like, my storage bill, they finally gave me a discount, but my storage bill was like $120 a month, which I lost one of them. I lost a lot of stuff in that. Memories of me and my daughter, like her stuff, her baby stuff, her rocking chair, stuff that I had in there when I first moved to Raleigh. I lost it. I lost a lot, and I can't even fathom everything I've lost in that that unit. But thank God I'm able to keep the one I have, so I'm trying my best not to lose that one. It's kind of hard because that stuff from college, everything was in that, that first storage, and it's crazy that they was not bad people, like customer service wise. We had good communication, but I just didn't have the money. When you go up $120, I went from, paying like $80 a month to $120. Keep in mind, I'm still leasing the car, still trying to find a place, having a place to sleep at night and everything. And I believe, I'm trying to think, when was the last time I actually had to sleep in my car without any no other choice but to sleep in my car. To be honest, I think when I got, let me think, that was the last time. Actually, when he took the car away, I think that was the last time I had to sleep in my car, because I was just, I believe, a month into my new job, so I didn't have to sleep in the car anymore, because I actually got another boyfriend. I got another boyfriend, and I ended up staying with him for a while, and I didn't have to sleep in the car. And if I sleep in the car now, it's because I choose to sleep in the car, or I feel like I'm not gonna pay that much money, or don't have enough points to get a free night. So it's not, that's an option. That's an option. But back then it wasn't an option. 2-3 months in a car. And I was happy. One thing about me, you could tell me my start date and my end date, I can make it happen. But if you tell me I don't know how long that's gonna take, or I don't know how long you go, Lord, I don't know how long I don't know how long we gonna be here, and I'm not really comfortable already. That's gonna be very mind-boggling to me. So I don't like that. I like end dates. Give me a start date and end date. If you give me a start date and end date, I can make it happen. I can pace my mind to make it happen. But if you saying, T, I'm gonna need you to go and sleep in your car and don't give me nothing, that's gonna be hard. You know, will I do it again? If I have to, yes. I'm more comfortable of doing it. I probably would do some stuff differently this time because I know from experience or whatever. But I definitely would do it again if I have to. Would I want to do it again? Hell no. Who wants to sleep in their car? And that's why I keep saying these people that are voluntarily sleeping in your car, I don't know. I can't judge nobody, but that can't be me. I don't want that to be me. Do you save money? To me, it's like, yeah, you do save money, but I don't know. In the end, when it's cold outside, you got to run your car all night. It's like different things that it kind of balance out. It'd be the same if you would have pretty much do something different. So staying in a hotel. So sometimes, like I said, I would pay for a hotel for $45 a night, and even with the corporate code, it could be cheaper. So, you know, you balance it out. You got to know how to do that finance thing if you're going to be out here. You got to have some goals. You can't just be like, I don't know, you know, or whatever. But transitioning out of homelessness, like I said, I keep telling myself, Terica, tax time is here. And in a couple of weeks, you'll be in your own home, your own place. When you go stay with somebody, it's because you want to, not because you need to. So I'm very much looking forward to that. It's okay for right now because I kind of got it in my mind as an end date of what's going to transpire because tax time is here. So if you need me to do your taxes, let me know. I can help you. So as long as I got an end date, I'm okay. That's it for part 2 of my transitioning out of homelessness. You can make it work. Love you guys. Thank you. So stay tuned. I'll definitely do more as we continue the series. Y'all have a great night.